Hey, welcome back to The Mother You Know, The Woman You Don't. Thank you for coming back again this week. We're starting off the new year. We're still 3 weeks into the new year, starting off. I'm not going to say strong. I feel like I'm struggling.
We're
I
starting
am
off
not going to.
surviving.
Yeah, we're surviving.
Come in with a bang,
It came in with a bang, but
It
I feel
did.
like we're. I don't know if it's surviving. I don't know what it is this week, but so we kind of got the idea to kind of talk to Mom a little bit more because she kind of stays in the background,
That's
doesn't
me.
talk a whole lot. So I think I just want to, in an effort just to kind of make more of a connection with her and let you guys connect with her more, we are going to just kind of interview her. So we gave her some of the questions ahead of time.
Yes.
Lydia's are more thought-provoking than mine. Mine were a little bit more, I think it'll be a little easier. But what we decided to do was use, I think these books are all over TikTok Shop, and I think, we're going to try to link them in Amazon if they're there. But it's called Mom, I Want to Hear Your Story. And I bought this book when we started talking about this podcast, just so I thought it would be interesting to read, and we hadn't really done anything with it. But I flagged some questions, so we were going to just kind of use this book, and I would encourage you after going through it a couple of times and thinking about how we could apply it or use it here on the podcast. That's a lot of great questions. So if you are somebody who wants to get to know your mom more, these are a lot of fun, and we're not linked with these people at all. I don't know if that's the right term. So it was just a good.
It's not
read.
a sponsored.
It's not a sponsored. Thank you, Lydia.
Promotion of this. This is just. If, like I said, if you want, so we'll link it in like the blog and things like that. That this is the book that Sissy got, but we are not being paid by those people to push their book.
I just thought it was really interesting. So I was just going to run through. They have some little sections called Mom Trivia. So I just picked the first one, and we're going to designate this book for Mom. And Mom, I may pass it on to you because there's a lot to fill in that you can take over, but we'll just kind of fill in the first little part here. So my questions are simple. They're not thought-provoking, but it is something just interesting. So we're going to run through them kind of, what's that called, quick lightning round style. So Mom, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Ice cream. Chocolate. Hands down, plain chocolate. Yep.
What do you like? How do you like your coffee?
I like coffee. Well, I need Cremora, the original, and some sugar. That's all I need. I just need a little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar. Well, maybe a lot of cream and a lot of sugar.
But it's not called Cremora, is it?
It's Cremora. It's the original Cremora. It's the powdered cream. And I guess I can say that, can't I?
Yeah.
But yeah,
say whatever you want, Mom.
It's the original powdered Cremora.
No flavoring,
not
no vanilla,
no flavors, no low fat or no fat. Yeah. Forget about it. Not even sweeteners. It's got to be real sugar.
Yeah.
And the powdered Cremora.
Okay.
And I measure it out with a measuring spoon.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. It's an art. It's got to be the same, exactly the same every morning.
What is that? It's got to have the right Pantone color.
That's right. That's right. If it looks too dark, it needs some more. So no, that's how I want my coffee. And I drink it like my daddy did. I mean, I started drinking coffee because he'd come home at 4:00 in the evening, and Mother'd make a fresh pot of coffee, and I'd sit down and drink coffee with Daddy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Danny goes, well, no, your daddy said to drink it black. And I said, no, he never, ever drank it black. He always drank it with cream and sugar in it. So that's what I get from my daddy.
Right.
That's my favorite every morning.
If you could live anywhere in the world for a year with all expenses paid, where would you choose?
I would choose Alaska.
Ooh.
I've been there, and I would be back. I would go back. Really.
It's cold.
It is cold, but there's places that, I really would like to see. In the city,
or would you rough it and go off the grid?
You give me a log cabin with heat, it can be off the grid. So I would.
You realize you'd be there alone. Daddy wouldn't be there with you.
No, Daddy would go back to Alaska. Daddy would go back to Alaska.
Not
to a cabin in the woods without electricity or without internet.
No.
There'd be no Wi-Fi.
Off the grid.
I would be okay. I would be okay without the
I thought you said she'd be okay without Daddy. I was like,
no. No, he would go with me. So he'd have to have maybe not. Okay, but I could say Hawaii, but he wouldn't want to go there. No. He don't like the sand. He don't like the beach. So
I think Dad just likes hemp pills.
Yes, that's the truth right there. But yeah, I would go to Alaska. I always wanted to go to Canada,
Yeah.
but I never made it to Canada yet. But
okay, well, still time.
In the summer.
Okay, how do you like your eggs cooked?
Scrambled with gravy on top.
Grandma did make the best scrambled eggs. She taught me how.
But she made the best gravy too.
You're the queen of fried eggs. How do you not love a good fried egg?
I'll eat them, but if I have my,
just scrambled.
If someone says, "How do you want your eggs?" I want them scrambled with a side of sausage gravy. Okay.
Made with a spoon.
That's right.
Is your preference to cook or to clean? If you do one or the other.
I clean better than I cook nowadays. I've decided I'm not a very good cook after all these years. Let me just say, I would like to learn to cook healthy. I would like that. But cleaning is what I do on a regular basis, I clean more than I cook.
Yeah. What's your shoe size? Small?
7.5. Exactly.
Dainty little feet.
Average.
Yeah. I don't, it's that one size fits all, 7 to 8. No, it needs to be 7.5. I don't know how they get away with that. So that's my shoe size. So it's not big, fat, ugly feet, but
that's
too
me.
big.
I have big feet. I was happy to hear that Kaylin and I have the same feet because my girls have feet that are this big. They've got these little bitty tiny
Yeah, they
feet,
do. Yeah.
Both of them. And I don't understand how I ended up with ski slopes and they've got little bitty feet. Okay, if you could choose a superpower for yourself, what would you choose? Superpower.
I need to know stuff. So I guess who's a superhero that knows?
God.
I was just thinking, superhero? What superpower?
Jesus.
There you go.
I don't think you want that, Jim Jones.
Look. I watched the Latter-day Saints thing the other day, and that was a train wreck. I'm telling you.
All them people thought that they were superheroes. AKA God. They all.
Yeah.
David Koreshes of the world, the Jim Joneses. Yeah.
It's bad.
Is it because I feel like you don't like cold cases? Like I can't watch things with you like disappeared because there's no closure into it. I feel like you need to know what happened. Need to know. You can't just deal with the fact that this is a cold. No. Like I bet John Bonet just drives you bat crap crazy.
Absolutely crazy. I watched that last episode, that last thing, and we're going to solve it. We're going to solve it. Well, get to it for heaven's sakes. Do the genealogy DNA, So, yeah, I need to know that. No, I don't watch it disappeared. I don't watch those shows that don't have no closure. Yeah, I just need closure. Okay. I never could watch. Was it 24? Isn't that the one with Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah.
Where it was and it was like 1 hour at a time, and it was never
real time.
There was it was never. There was never a closure.
How many terrorist attacks do you think could be solved in 1 hour? They need the whole day.
No, she just needed the whole.
But they needed to solve it within that hour. Time. Okay, yeah.
But that's one of the shows that it was minute by minute. It was in real time.
That's right, and nothing got fixed. Nothing got solved. Nothing got,
She had to wait 24 episodes. Is what she did. Right. They could have wrapped that story up in an hour.
No.
2 max.
Yeah. No, Daddy watched it all the time, but I thought, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. So if you don't solve it, then forget about it.
So your superhero, you would be the closure, the closer?
Yes, I would be a closer. Yeah.
Oh.
I want to know, and I can fix it for you,
I'm going to,
so is that a superhero?
Closer. No, it is
anything you want it to be.
I'm going to get you a cake with the C on the closer.
That's right. Send me all your cold cases, and we'll take care of them, okay?
The gardener, the husband,
That's right.
The crazy next door neighbor who ate his hair. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay. Simpler question. Do you have any allergies?
I don't. There's nothing I'm allergic to. I mean, I get a cold once a year or every few years. My sinuses don't bother me. No.
Maybe what's it called? Anesthesia. You didn't do well with that. Maybe you're allergic to it.
Well, I guess maybe,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but no known allergy.
A little claustrophobic. That's not an allergy. I mean, the thought of going into an MRI is just more than I can bear. You know, forget about it. So, but I don't have any allergies that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yeah.
Well, maybe drowning. You know, that's a fear. You know.
Yeah.
I when y'all were little, my greatest fear was that something would happen to me and I would leave my children behind. That was always a big fear. And once y'all got older and off on your own and successful, then it was like, oh, thank God. You know, I can die now, you know.
No.
Would you just tell me don't put that out in the world?
Yeah. Well, you're true. You're right about that. So I don't live in fear, you know, anymore over that.
Okay.
And now it's that something would happen to my children or my grandbabies or my husband. You know, that's not a fear because I really feel like I trust the Lord and I believe that He's in charge and it is what it is. So it's not really a fear anymore. But yeah, that was my biggest fear was something happened and not being around to take care of my babies.
Yeah.
Which
and
are
then drowning. But you
and
would
drowning,
go out in the canoe on the lake. You're constantly wanting to go out in the canoe on the lake.
I did have a life jacket on, you know.
Well,
and Jared was standing there on
a tether on it.
Yes.
You were tethered to Jared. So
Jared wouldn't let her drown, but
no.
I'd be more scared of the alligators in that lake, honestly, than
look, the most dangerous thing we ever did, and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe we did that, was that zip line in Jamaica.
Well, yeah.
In the top of those trees. Remember? It was like
that was not
that was dangerous.
Yeah,
it was there were no rails around some of those big old platforms, you know.
Yeah.
And the helmets. Can you believe we put them helmets on? Can you believe we put them helmets on? And I thought these are nasty, you know.
Yeah.
So we don't even know what kind of.
Yeah. We had a good time.
So we did. But that I look back on that and think that's the worst decision I ever made in my life, you know. And we did it.
Yeah.
We climbed that dang tree. You know. Yeah. So.
Okay. What would you order as your last meal?
Dwayne would have to smoke me a prime rib. Tell him to keep that in mind. Yeah.
Oh,
just prime ribs to die for. I'll tell you that right now.
Sides? You want sides?
Oh, because when that's that question, mine would be like, okay, so when I'm on death row, and you're just like, when I'm just dying peacefully in my bed, and I'm like, well, when I'm on death row, what am I going to ask for? We just come at the question 2 different ways. That's all.
I'm thinking, get Dwayne to smoke me a prime rib, and then call hospice. Then, okay, so I'll be okay.
Like, call the warden.
Well, I didn't see myself in prison, okay, on death row.
That's her point. That's her point, is that y'all come from that question from 2 totally different places. You were dying peacefully, and she was on death row.
She was being executed for what?
There's no telling. There is no telling.
Well, if you watch ID, then you will end up on death row, okay? You will end up on death row.
I'm not saying I don't like my chances of not being on death row. I'm just saying that's where I think about it. Les Mill. Because I probably won't know death is coming any other way.
Well, that's true. That could be true.
No.
Okay. Have you ever broken a bone? Which one and how?
I broke my collarbone in first grade, the last day of first grade.
Oh, that's right.
And I was on the playground and I don't know, some kid fell on top of me and broke my collarbone. And it was sticking up like that. It was sticking out like that, and it was in a lot of pain. And when I told the teacher, and she told me to be quiet and go sit down. And at the end of the day, when I got home and I was crying, and Mother saw that, oh my God, she let that teacher know, you know, because she just didn't look. She didn't look to see if I was injured or anything like that. And so yeah, they had to set it. So yeah, that's the only bone I might have broke my little toe.
Yeah.
A time.
Even when y'all were in that car accident?
So I was thinking, you didn't get hurt in the car accident with No more grandpa?
No. Mm-mm. No, I just got a whiplash on my right side of my neck, and every once in a while it bothers me, and I think, oh, that's a whiplash, man. No, Daddy got his foot crushed, but me and Mother we didn't. So just my collarbone.
Rolled out of it.
Yep.
And the last one from this little section is, what is your favorite flower or plant? Which we'll have to put a picture of your greenhouse up, because I don't know how you just have one with all those plants.
See, I have a lot of favorites that if I had to choose one, which I don't have one at all, but my favorite is an orchid. And I've been wanting to start growing orchids. And when I go buy a plant to take to somebody in the hospital, I always go get an orchid.
Brittany.
So yeah, and they're not that
finicky.
hard to grow. No,
they're
I
hard
don't
to
think
keep
they're
alive.
that hard. No, all you gotta do is give it a few pieces of ice every week, and it'll grow. It'll grow. It'll be happy. It'll stay blooming for a month or so. So if I have a favorite, but I have a lot of favorites, you know.
Okay. We'll have to get you an orchid. You have to get started on your orchids, because you have a ton of plants. I mean, what I think of is like when we moved y'all from Houston to Hemp Hill,
I didn't have very many at that time.
We had to have, the plants had their own U-Haul. Like
they did. Yes.
We had to get a second U-Haul for the plants, just the plants to go in.
Yes, we did.
And there was that move.
I take that back.
We did have a lot. You have more now. You have more now, but you did have a lot of plants.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I will give you your greenhouse is spectacular. I love
What's that plant?
And we've done really good over the freezes the last couple of weeks, and kept a fire burning in there. So I was really pleased today. Heater. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
The plants have their own heater now.
Yes. But I can't even use I can't even use it because it's too tall. It's too tall. It'll catch the roof on fire. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that big old patio heater, but.
Oh, I'll buy it from you.
Oh, will you buy it from me?
Mm-hmm. If you're not going to use it, I'll buy it from you.
Well, I don't know that I'll never use it, but I can't use it for what I originally bought it for and put it together for. But it's nice.
Well, I'm going to switch gears and jump over to talking about Grandma a little bit. I know we've talked about her quite a bit on podcasts in the past, but what are 3 words you would use to describe Grandma?
Grandma.
Your mother.
My mother was, she was patient. She was very patient, very kind. I guess that's 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
I think she was smart, and she just raised all her kids. And that's what she felt was successful. That's what she felt successful, because she raised them children, all of them. She was funny, and people liked her. She liked people. She loved the Lord. She was a woman of faith, a very strong woman of faith. And I think I'd like to give her credit for that in all of her lives. Not everybody followed in her path, but you just have to give that to her. Strong.
In what ways are you most like your mother?
Well,
like, I'm patient, I'm kind, and I'm smart.
There you go. All of the above. I just think, I look like her a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I do look like my mother. So there's plenty of times I look in the mirror and go, well, hello, Annie. You know. So, and yeah, I think I got patience from her and a love for children. And I never, ever wanted to work outside the home. I always thought I'd be a mother and raise my kids. And I ended up having a career in the ministry in the church. But it wasn't my choice at the time. So when I needed to go to work, then that's what was available to me.
Yeah.
When I went to college, they, was trying to get me to go into school teaching because that was the thing. That was the only thing, it seems like, at that time for women, was to go be a school teacher. And I thought, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to take these classes, but I am not a school teacher. I'll tell you that right now. So
props to all you school teachers. We're not saying that.
That's
takes
true.
a special kind of person.
No,
it does take
do
you
that.
have to respect and love, but it wasn't my choice.
Yeah, no,
because I always felt like I was just going to stay home, take care of my kids, and also, and I ended up in preschool ministry and church ministry. So, and I appreciate all that God did for us for those years and all that. So, but it wasn't lucrative. It wasn't lucrative with benefits and all. But I just feel like, well, I get my just rewards.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I'm proud of where we've been and what we've done. So does that make sense?
Yeah, let me ask you this, because it also talks about grandfathers in here. So the same question, like what 3 words would you use? We don't talk a ton about our men folk, but what 3 words would you use to describe Grandpa? Because we lost him
91.
High school.
Yes, y'all would have been in high school because we were
senior year.
We were living
in the brown house, brown house.
2-story.
Yeah, the 2-story house. Yes, Daddy. Patience would be another one for Daddy. He was reserved, I think. He was quiet and reserved.
Probably because he was surrounded by all these loud ass women.
Yes.
He was. 9 daughters, his wife.
Yes.
Grandma had 5 sisters or something. I mean, he was just all these women.
Yes.
He probably just surviving. Let's be real.
He did okay. He
he survived.
And he was a hard worker. He worked the same job all my life. He worked for the same company from the time I just can remember being 6 years old and him working for this company. And I don't know if he quit, but then we were going through some really hard times and he did whatever he had to do to feed his kids. And there would have been 7 or 8 of us. And they come looking for him and we didn't have a phone. I don't even know where we were living at that time. But anyway, once he went back to work for this company, because they would come looking for him and he run into an old friend and said, "Hey, they're trying to find you." And so he went back to work and he stayed at the same job the rest of my life until he retired. So he was solid. He was a hard worker. He loved the Lord.
In what ways are you most like Grandpa?
With like Daddy?
Besides the coffee.
The coffee. I always thought he was a little reserved, is what I said earlier, but not detached. But he just didn't have best friends. He didn't have a lot of friends. Was he too busy with his family, I guess? So I don't know. There are things about him that I think I'm probably a lot like him. So.
Yeah. What do you think? Quiet?
Quiet? Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes a little bit. And just keep doing what I'm doing. I think because he just stayed. He just stayed.
Steadfast.
Steadfast. Yeah, that's a good one. And just, he wasn't wishy-washy. He worked hard. He stayed at the same job. And loved his children and his grandbabies. So I remember you, Lydia, didn't we go to Pam's house and she had all them dogs?
Yes, he rescued me.
He rescued you? Yes.
He rescued me from those pugs.
That's Daddy. Yeah.
Babies.
Yes.
For whatever we were, I spent the week up there with Grandma and Grandpa, and I was the only. I don't know why I was the only one. I don't think James was there. It was just me. But I would sleep on the floor in the living room, and they had them 2 pugs, and I didn't like dogs. Like we didn't have dogs. I was scared to death of dogs. And Grandma and Grandpa were outside. I was still asleep, and the dogs came from wherever they came from and just started licking me. And I was probably 5 or 6 maybe, and I lose my mind, and I just him hysterical. And I remember Grandpa running in the house and he swooped me up and he picked me. I just wrapped my arms around it and I just wrapped my legs around it. And I was losing. And he's just like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I think I probably stayed there for 10 minutes just. And he that's what he said. He was my hero. That's what Grandma always said, that I would always say that Grandpa was my hero because he rescued me from them vicious pugs.
Dogs.
He tried to kill me.
Vicious pugs.
Yeah, them pugs, they're about this big.
Grandpa was my hero, is what Grandma said that I would say. I was like, well, he was.
Yeah. And he didn't talk a lot about his family. There's a lot of things we didn't know about his family, his upbringing, and I only remember meeting one of his sisters, and then Clarence, his brother, was in our lives for a little while. His mother, I think I met his mother one time. So that side of the family was complete strangers to us, which is sad to me. And I don't know why. Well, it could be because we were in Texas and they were in Yakima, Washington.
Oh.
And in Montana and up in the Pacific Northwest. So
that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Lydia?
Was it my turn?
It's your turn.
You got the hard ones. I think she got the hard. Yeah, hard
first
ones.
off, I can't take credit for them. ChatGPT wrote these for me. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, so I'll see if I can answer Chat.
Yes,
GPT,
but they're still good.
PTT.
I mean, I had to give it. You have to give it a good prompt, or it's not going to give you good things. So I take some responsibility for it. Let's see. What was it? Okay, what was the number? I have them all numbered here. Yes. Okay. So this first one was, what has been the biggest challenge in your relationship with Dad, our father, and how did you work through it?
Well, he was he pastored for a while, so that makes him an in charge kind of person. In charge. And then he went into education and being a principal and all that. So
more in charge.
The challenge, yes, more in charge. So I think that was something you learn. That's just who he is and what he does. And you learn to live with that and just do what you want to do when you want to do it.
But we're not going to say he's bossy.
No, he's got a master's degree in doing that, being that, which
a BA in bossy.
You have to,
or an MS, whatever it's going to be.
Bossy?
Yeah.
I didn't even go to school.
Knew how to be in charge and take care of business, So, and I'm laid back, If I feel like doing it, I'll do it. If I don't feel like it, I don't care, So, don't tell me what to do. But and the type of work he was in was time consuming and all consuming at times. What is, 7 days a week and lots of hours. I don't know if y'all remember that, but it feels like he was gone a whole lot. And also,
well, especially the time when he was working and had the business and getting his master's degree,
still working
and had the ice cream shop all at the same time.
Yeah.
There's only 24 hours in a day and he probably was gone.
18 of them.
Yeah. So professional student, from the time we went to Marshall to, and it was always going to school. So, and that too. And let me just say, he did it well. He worked, he ran that business. He had a 4.0 GPS. Is that what you called it?
GPA.
GPA. Or GPS. No, that's
the maps.
Yeah, that's the maps. Yeah, I thought that'll sound right.
GPA.
Yeah, the GPA. So he's just really, really dedicated to whatever it was. So yeah, I guess that's been the challenge, is him being bossy.
Do you let him be bossy, or is it having to teach him to read the room to be and being bossy?
No. It's just.
Do you let him? Is it one of those things where you let him believe he's being bossy and that he's in charge, but you're really?
But maybe now. Maybe nowadays.
That's what I mean. Now that he's
when you're not,
because
like,
it wasn't that an issue.
Like, yeah.
Wasn't that an issue when he first retired and went up there? Because he retired from everything.
Yes,
and went
he
up
did.
there,
yes,
and there was like a period where it was nothing.
Like 4 weeks.
And I think you kept telling him.
No, it's 2 years. It was 2 years before he agreed to pastor this church.
Yeah, but he was subbing. He was
just for a few days. Don't let
but no, I'm saying he didn't spend much time with nothing. There was schools subbing that do whatever.
He did some subbing and all, and he worked for Walmart gas station for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the thing of when you're a teacher, then you're paying into TRS and you're not paying Social Security.
Yeah.
So once he retired, then he needed to finish getting his points for Social Security. And so he went to work for Walmart gas station for 2 or 3 days. And it was like, now you can pay money and buy your points or something like that. So we just, we ended up just doing that.
Yeah.
And so no. And then he did take Sunday evenings and did the sermons on Sunday evenings. So that was a good thing.
No, but I was
for a couple
saying
of
that
years.
there was that period of time where I think you kept telling us you kept having to remind him, you're not the principal
Yes.
here. You're not the boss of me.
You're not the principal.
Yeah.
There is no
He's rattling
employees
off
here.
stuff to do, and it's
Yes,
like,
yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
not what we're doing.
No, that's true. That was true. And I think that happens for a lot of people who have high power or
Well, for
busy,
sure.
busy,
Yeah.
busy businesses and then retires. And it's like, well, crap. What do I do with my life? Yeah. What do I do with my life?
Well, the whole thing is you're used to keeping things moving. You
Yes.
know, you're keeping. So when you see something not moving, it's only natural to go,
yes.
here, let me
get
help
it?
you with that.
Yeah.
Let me use my
take care.
skills to help you do this better.
Yes.
Aggressively help you.
Yeah, aggressively helpful. That's right. Thank you, Shane.
Yeah. I forget. No, he was talking to somebody today. There was something that he got a phone call about, and they were needing some help with something. And so he took it on and he made a phone call and he was telling somebody what was going on and he'd take care of it. And he said, was I rude? I said, yeah, you sound just like a principal, So, and it had to do with a student at the school.
Yeah.
Man, he put that hat back on real fast, didn't he?
Just go down and put it on the couch
just like a
because we're not doing
principal.
that today.
Yeah. And even in pastoring, I've told him, a time or two, there's a difference between being a pastor and being a principal, so, but yeah, he's done great. He's done great. So, and he is talking about retiring again from the pastor, which is.
I wish I could do that thing where I coughed BS, but
no, really.
But we're a family friendly show.
My whole face, this is my whole face. Okay.
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 Well,
I call bullcrap, but that's fine.
Oh, no, I'm not calling bullcrap. I'm just saying okay because that's the new me this year. Is
it? All right.
What is it? Never argue with a drunk or fool.
No, or someone that's been retiring for 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Like, I talked to the deacons. I'm like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
And I did tell him when he was having that conversation. This was like a year ago. We had this conversation where he told the leadership of the church that he wanted to retire, and they're essentially in denial. And I was like, Daddy,
yes,
I said, Daddy,
true.
You're gonna have to break up with them. You're gonna have to break up like a relationship. You're gonna have to sit down, tell them that it's over, block their numbers, break up. It has to be a breakup. You can't do like a simple little, can we still be friends? No, you have to break their hearts. That's what you have to do. You have to be ruthless about it. Because they're just going to be in denial. And they're going to drag their feet.
No, it's on the table. It's on the table. It's on the table enough where one of my little ladies boo-hooing today. Okay, we're having that conversation. I said, "You realize?" Yes. She said, "Yes, I do. I do realize." So
do you think he'll retire until the next church needs him to do it?
There will not be another one. I guarantee you.
What's he going to do with his time?
Because you are going to teach him how to be on social media with his Bible studies. Okay,
I think he
does. That's what he's going to do.
Me and him had the conversation about starting a YouTube channel the other day. Yeah.
Yes.
And teaching, and
he would be good at that.
He would be very good at that. He'd be very good at that.
And he's smart. Like, he can figure it out. Like, it's so funny. He did something the other day. He set up a YouTube channel, but he goes, I don't know what I'm doing wrong because they were asking me to pay for it. And so I was like, what do you mean? I was like, YouTube's free. Like, you can pay for subscribe to some content, but to upload stuff. And he's like, I don't know what I did. It's like, Daddy, we'll figure it out. Yeah, don't give him your credit card. Don't
pay nobody.
Don't pay.
That's right.
We'll figure it out. I said, we'll figure it out. It's fine.
If you're on the pay side, that ain't good. That's not good.
Yeah. So there has been challenges. Everybody's got challenges, but that just being in
You're not the
charge.
boss to be challenged. Got it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
what's funny is that I feel like that's where I get my rebellious spirit from. You like try and hide it, Mama, but I feel like I get that from you a little bit.
You think so? Well,
Where
that
else
could
would
be.
I get it?
No, I will confess to that.
Thank you.
There are times that, yeah, it's like, no, I just don't
That's
want to
my
be
response to a lot. Just like, no, I'm not doing it.
I just don't want to be required to do anything for anybody. I want to do things, good things and nice things and kind things and generous things for people, but don't require me, so don't require me to even close the door. I'll walk out and leave the door open. he's
Just
he's
to
going,
be petty.
the door's open. The door's open. It's okay. It's okay. So
It's a door.
it's the door. It's, it's bugs.
Okay.
Just smash them, just slap them, so yeah, I just don't want to be required at this point in life. So I just want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So how does that, what does that make me?
Strong-willed.
Okay. A strong woman. Yes.
Strong. Yeah. You're a strong, independent woman.
Yeah. Fruit.
More.
Next. It's your question.
Okay. Sorry.
You're
it's
up.
on my phones. Let's see. Let's see. How did becoming a mother change your sense of identity as a woman?
Well, I always wanted just to be a mother with my children. So I don't know. It changed my point of view of being a woman because that's what I thought it was all about, is to have my babies and raise them. That question would probably be good to ask the husband because it changed, you know what I mean? That once them babies come along, it's like life isn't about you no more. It's about keeping that kid alive, keeping their butt dry, making sure they eat and raise good, healthy kids, And sometimes I didn't feel like I was doing it right. I mean, I did let Dorcas sit there and cry till the neighbor come over and said, "Can I help you with something?" No, Dr. Smock said to let her cry. So got rid of that. And then there's a challenge.
She's fine.
Yeah. So does that answer that question?
Yeah. I got a couple more. Let's see. I'm going to kind of go through them all, and then I told you some of them earlier, but some of them I'm going to pick.
Go ahead.
If you could go back, is there anything you would change about how you raised us?
I would probably not be so legalistic, I think. I would have let you go to the concert. I would have. Now, I would have. Back then, no, it was just dogmatic. It was just, no.
We could have gone to the school dances.
You can't, probably so. At where I'm sitting now. But back then, it was just the church culture of the day, I think.
It was very footloose.
But I don't know. Yeah, but the PKs got away with a lot of crap, so, so there was, I would have done
been a little bit more
things different. Yeah, I would have, and all. So
again, we turned out fine.
You did actually. So yeah. I'm grateful to all that mother, the way mother raised us, and I tried to pass that on to y'all.
Yeah. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice about womanhood, what would it be?
I think to be more accepting of who you are and your body shape, and just be a little more self-confident, I guess, and not be embarrassed about your upbringing, because we were a lot of people, and we were poor, we made our own clothes and all that, and that's just something you have to be accepting and say that's who we were, and it's what made us the people we are today, I think. So looking back, and we turned out great, especially with all of us kids, incredibly different, but yet just belong together, We just belonged together.
You're a little tribe.
Truly was. We really were. Look back at my sisters and my brothers, and everything didn't always turn out right or good. And a lot of them made different decisions about lifestyles and all. But as a whole, I think we're going to be together in heaven with my parents, and I think they did it right. So.
I like that. I don't think he thinks that makes a lot of sense where you said we just belong together.
Yeah.
Y'all do, you bunch of freaks. Y'all belong together.
We do. And y'all belong to us.
Yeah.
And you belong to this tribe, girl.
You're right. You're right.
All of you.
When you're sitting around looking at this disaster, you're just going, oh, God, I belong here.
Yeah.
Okay, I belong here.
Yeah.
This explains so much.
Even this past Thanksgiving, it was like, look at these people. Yeah.
Speaking of things, I was looking through my photos today, looking to find some to send you for this episode. I was going back a couple years, and I think it was 2019 was the first time we had Thanksgiving at your house, Dorcas.
Yeah.
It was huge. I mean, I think it was one of the bigger ones. It's bigger than the one we had this year because everybody was there, and we all had our pop-up chairs, and we're all sitting around a fire pit on the driveway, and it was everybody. Like it was all of you and your kids, and I think Misha and Jerry and I think Wally and Brandy were there, and Shirley, and there was just it was this huge thing.
Thanksgiving.
Chad and Mac and everybody was just there, and it's so funny. I didn't have it in those exact words, but I had that feeling of, God, look at this big old group of whatever we are.
Yeah,
it's our people, it's our whatever. And like I said, I didn't say it the way that you said it, that we belong together, but we did. Like this big hot mess.
Yes.
Of Chapman was just right there in the middle of the driveway. But then you look, like if you look at it spider webbed out, how you have not only the Chapmans, but now you got the Hockenberrys and the O'Quinns, and you got the, all these little enclaves of people that came from Grandma running off with Grandpa after that dance or whatever, going on that date when she had another date, very scandalous.
Yes. Yeah.
Dating two boys at once. What was she thinking? And that's what created all this. So good job. Speaking of romantic love, what is the most important lesson you've learned about maintaining a long-term romantic relationship? Because you and Daddy have been married for 53 years.
53 years.
53 years.
January
1st.
I don't know. Just duke it out and just stick with it and turn around and say, I'm sorry. And what, and he's way more romantic than I am. I'll tell you that right now. He is. And I don't know. I can't even explain myself to myself, but it's just, you just have to just keep on keeping on, because we've had good times and we've had bad times. Nowadays, it's like you said, well, baby, it's just you and me now. It's just you and me. And that's true. We'll probably be in some nursing home somewhere in the same room, helping each other to the bathroom, I guess. So, and the Lord, there's no doubt about it. If we didn't have the Lord in our life, we would probably been divorced sooner or later. But it's just the solid rock that you plant your feet on. And it is that for us. And we still have to climb back on it every once in a while. It's like we fell off. We're just going to have to get back on that solid rock and just be there. So, and just I think it's being compassionate as we get older with our slowness and our, quirks. Yeah, that's a good word. I kid you not, and just being kind, even when you want to pull your hair out. You just let the Lord.
It's hard to, I'm not allowed to say, and if you don't want me to say it, we can take it out, Mama. But like, Daddy, I don't want a HIPAA violation either. Daddy's health problems that he's had. And like, the last 2 times I've been at my house, he has fallen.
Yes.
And had big falls. And
yes,
as the daughter, like I said, it's traumatic for me. Like that first time when he fell really hard and he lost consciousness, and like I couldn't even call Dwayne, and like to tell that Dorcas don't answer her phone, or I don't know. I think Jared called and talked to Dwayne. It's like, hey, this happened. We got him awake and he's over there. But to see y'all getting older, that's a hard pill to swallow because there was a time when Daddy could fall. Or I remember the time he slammed his hand in the door. He got the door and he didn't cry out. I mean, he winced and he, but he was always so tough and he was all these things. And to see him be
strong
a
as
little
an
bit
ox,
more,
always strong as an ox.
solid, and played football in high school and, had plans to go to college and all this stuff and play football, and to see him and to see you just not as spry as you used to be, I guess.
Slowing down.
Yeah. Tell the president that you're on a podcast, Mama.
Sorry, I thought I turned that off. I really did.
We were in the middle of a moment.
I will make that phone call later.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. I turned it down.
Silent.
You Hoodle. To see y'all not as spry as you used to be, it's really daunting, and things like that. And to see the two of y'all together in those situations, to see like when Daddy falls, and you like if luckily that first time Jared was here. And was able to, and I know y'all, he probably fell at the house too, and you can get him up, but to think of y'all going through that together alone, that's sad for me, because, God forbid something happened.
But that's who we are. I mean, we're learning to carry the water in together, a case of water. It's like, I can't lift this. So the both of us are just hobbling around with the case of water, and
I would just leave it on the porch and go get water from the porch if you needed it.
Yeah.
Just like leave it in the car.
Yeah.
Still get water.
Just take out a few. That's what I told him. I said, one of these days we're just gonna have to be taking out 2 or 3 bottles at a time to carry it in, because it's just too heavy, and it's you just do things different, and you just keep on doing. I thought of the Bible says God promises us 70 years, and that's 70 years. And I'm thinking, I'm on borrowed time. I cleaned out I cleaned out my cabinets and threw away everything that had expiration dates past.
Gotcha.
Yes, and some of them were only 3 years past, and one thing was like 7 years past. And I'm thinking, oh dear God! So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm thinking, I'm a couple of years past my expiration date. I thought, okay, Lord, you at least give my mama 82 years. So, and just to live healthier so that you can add to those years, for sure.
Well, you said Dad was the more romantic. What's the most romantic thing he's ever done? And don't be dirty.
Well, I don't want to be dirty. But no, he always gets the room at the San Luis, and they had the bed made, and they had the roses on the bed, and
this year,
this year, 2 weeks ago,
yes, that's right.
I said that to Richard, and I was like, look what your grandpa did for your mama.
Yeah. So that, and he always thinks about that, and to go out for dinner and all that. So
you're not that sappy. You don't think
I'm
about
not. I'm not. I don't mean to not be, but I'd rather have a package of flower seeds than to have flowers,
for sure.
Any day. I don't, give me a sweatsuit, instead of lingerie, for sure. You know what I mean?
Hoodie.
Yes, that's right. That's what I need.
We're alike in that, because I don't want flowers. I think it's the biggest waste of money ever. It's flowers. I don't think.
And he's the one that says, baby,
I got new camo this year, and I thought, I'm the bee's knees. Look at me.
There you go. For sure. And he's the one that's always going, baby, you need your it's time to go do your nails. It's time to go do your
he's always taking
toenails,
like
pedicure.
He likes a good red toenail, doesn't he?
Oh, he does, don't he? For sure.
Yeah.
So, I get around to it.
Yeah.
But he stays on me to do that. And it's okay, but if I feel like going, but I don't feel like, I don't want to go
get my nails done. You can't make me get my nails done.
Yeah. So, but I do it for him. I still do it for him. So,
there's worse things than getting your nails done and your toenails done paid for by your man.
That's true.
Just to make him happy.
Yeah. And
how do you feel like your relationship with us has changed now that we're adults?
You're adult. I don't have to boss you around. I don't have to pay your bills or, anything like that.
I don't think you paid our bills.
No, I've never. No, I'm just saying that you're
unlike our brother, the minute me and Dorcas turned 18, we was out.
You was out of the house.
We was out of that house. We're like,
oh, but she means she don't have to take care of us anymore. You're just
I don't.
There's nothing to.
I don't worry about y'all. I don't worry about y'all not taking care of yourself or going through really hard times. I mean, and we all have, and we all need that to grow up and appreciate the good things when we get them. You know, you need to earn it. You need to work hard and earn it and go through hard times to get there and all. So I, of course, retiring and moving up here is those things that I don't get to attend, and I hadn't. So yeah, I regret that. I'm sorry, you know, for that. You know, the Nutcracker Market and the, you know, the things that y'all get to do. And I'm not there at the time, but there'll be a time. And I think learning
it'll be easier when Daddy retires.
Yeah, which
we just need T-shirts with little hands. Okay,
yeah.
With little hands.
Little hands.
We'll use those little hands that Melissa has.
Yes, Melissa has. Eventually. So I'm really proud of, well, all three of you. You know, James does his own thing, and y'all too. So we're extremely proud and pray for you all the time. And you're both married, and what you have to go through in your marriage is what we've gone through. And I can think, you know, we made it. Y'all can make it, you know. So, and I just would like to have more conversations and spend more time on the phone. But I think I worry about y'all being so busy. You know, every evening I thought, oh, I should call. We should talk. And I'm thinking, you know, they've been working all day. You know, they've been talking all day long. So maybe they won't feel like it.
But that's what I think this has done. Like this.
Oh my gosh. This has been.
Medium has been
way
more
love
easier.
Love
this. I hate being on the phone.
Yeah.
I hate being on the phone.
Yeah.
But I do like this medium.
Yeah. I do too.
At least once a week.
At least once a week.
I'm not good. Like, I don't want to talk to any. I have my phone time is, you got to catch me in the car. You better call me at 5:30 in the morning till 6 o'clock, 5:30 to 7 o'clock, or 4 to 5:30. Because I will have friends that call at 5:40. No, ma'am, I'm not answering that phone. I'm at home.
Yeah.
Sorry, you missed your window. Talk to me. That's your window. I give you 3 hours a day you can call, because I don't have to, you know, hold the phone and all that. But yeah, I'll talk to you at 5:30 in the morning though.
Okay. Well, I'll get my cup of coffee. And here we are.
Not on Mondays because I listen to podcasts, and not Thursdays.
Right.
But Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay, Tuesday, Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I would like that, more conversations with y'all. Spend more time at I want to go to the ranch with y'all. Would y'all let me go to the ranch?
Yeah.
Will y'all take me to the ranch?
We're going in March.
Yeah.
I'll tell Dwayne to tell you.
All righty.
You can go with us to a ranch.
Yeah. So next question, lady.
Seriously. Keep up. Keep up.
What is the one thing you wish we understood about you as a mother that we may not see?
Oh, that you may not see. I think I'm probably more insecure than maybe y'all might see, I think. And I don't like that. I don't like being insecure. I don't like, because we were talking about what were we doing today? Looking for a picture of the three of us in the pictures. And you said, why aren't we more?
Why are we so averse to taking photos together?
Take it together. What, you know, that was like, that, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me that I haven't always taken pictures together? I mean, we've taken lots of pictures, but just because I have some with just Dorcas, or I have some with just you, some with just James. But, and I think my problem is just being in front of the camera. I don't like that, because I don't take pictures and think, oh, that's a good picture of you, Sylvia. I think, like I said the other day, girl, you fat. You know, when
even you really got to work on yourself.
Days, even in my
quit talking about my mom like that.
True, Truly, yeah. And so I think being more accepting of where I'm at this point in my life is, look, letting my hair go gray. That was like excruciating for me. But yet I look back and think, man, that brown looked bad, you know. So, and
That's
a
what
lot
I
of
think
people,
every time I look at pictures of my hair colored. I think that looks
yes,
really bad. I
yeah,
mean, today I'm not looking great, but I'm just saying 9 times out of 10, my hair looks way better now than it ever did colored.
yeah. I look back and think, oh my God, I did
And your hair looks
exactly.
better.
Yes, yeah. I feel good about just letting it be what it is. Yeah. Because I look back and think, oh my God, I am who I thought I would never be. Would be that old lady that colors your hair and looks like you're trying to be 30 again, which I don't want to do that. I don't want to look 80 when I'm 70, but I don't need to look 30, you know. So
I just don't want to sit in a beautician's chair every 3
I don't
weeks to get my
either.
hair
You know,
colored.
no,
Yeah.
I don't either.
I got other things I want to do. I don't do
Yeah,
that.
I need Riri to hurry up and get her career going here.
Listen,
'Cause
I
I just
told her
need
I'd
to
buy her a
sit.
house
Yeah,
if she would blow my hair out twice a week. I'd buy her a whole house
yeah,
to live next door to me so she could
that's right.
blow my hair out. So,
But you know, but Shirley was a beautician all her life,
mhm.
you know, and everything. It was just the hub of her little beauty shop. Was just the hub of so much that was in her life. And then when she would come and be with us, we could sit around and she would be cutting everybody's hair and laughing and talking and, you know, combing people's hair and all that. So it was just a given. So when Shirley was around and we were all together, oh, everybody's getting their hair cut, you know,
And
permed. Didn't we though?
We just got to be real
rollers
careful. Like
nice
when
and
Riri
tight.
starts, we got to be careful when Riri starts her career because I saw some people like on TikTok that were like beauticians and they're like, nothing pisses me off more than like you get invited over for a girls' night and it's really just a ploy for you to cut their hair kind of thing. Or like,
Okay.
you know, you go to the family thing and it's always, and everyone's there, hey, I'm ready to get my hair cut. Like, what are you talking about? This is family dinner. It's like, oh, well, you're here. She's like,
did you bring your scissors?
I mean,
you know?
yeah, like that kind of thing. It's like, so you're not supposed to do that with your family? That's a beautician?
No,
Didn't know
probably
that.
not.
So maybe, good thing to know. So don't invite Riri over for dinner. It's a ploy to get a free haircut.
Your hair.
No, I told her. I told her what I wanted, what I'd
we're
give
gonna
her.
we're gonna be her guinea pigs. We're her you know. So
is that your phone still dinging?
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's
the phone you put on silent because we can hear it.
It's just
so you know.
dinging. It's just dinging. Let me put it on silent. Good God.
I know, Mom. Professional podcast. Big professional podcast.
Oh, please. With you two behind the camera.
Dude, even Joe Rogan has some glitches, and he leaves them in.
That's right.
We had the thing the other day. They had those technical issues. I'm like, if Joe Rogan can do it, so can we. Okay.
Next question.
Last question. Okay, here we go. As we know, you're one of like 11 freaking kids. So what role did your sisters play in shaping the woman that you are today?
I think we looked out for each other and we would stop someone else's behavior when we were younger. We stood up for each other.
You were a gang.
We were a gang. You're right. And Shirley was the gang leader.
I was about to say.
For sure.
And yeah.
For sure.
And sure, she was. I think we, you know, it just, what they knew was passed down to what we needed to know, you know, when it comes to becoming a woman and all that. So we just took care of the younger ones. The older ones took care of the younger ones. Shirley was the most nurturing when it comes to the babies and the toddlers. And Shirley was the one that always give the kid to Shirley. She'll change the diaper, you know. She could stop them from crying. She would feed them. And we just always had a baby in the house. Always had a baby, always had a toddler, and a couple at a time, you know. But even once we were growing up, then Pam started having her babies and we took care of her babies. Claudia and all the little ones. And it just rolled downhill, I guess. We just kept doing that. And even so, we miss babies being in the house nowadays. And you look back at all the cousins and all that, they're grown. They're y'all's age, So, I don't know. Ask me that question again.
What role did your sisters play in shaping the woman you are today?
Okay, I guess that explains it. And I look back, and Pam and I were very close. And then Claudia had her own little special gifts. I always thought Claudia was so outgoing and friendly. And I wanted to be more like Claudia because she liked everybody. She talked to everybody. And I just didn't, Loretta and I were just two peas in a pod. We fought like cats and dogs because we were so alike, and we're still a lot alike.
Aunt Lacey.
I know. So, yeah. And Beth was so special, but she was the nervous Nellie. Beth was, and she had, I don't know, mother had sprayed for bugs or something. She got her hand stuck in, put her hand in some bug spray and then put it in her mouth, and she was hysterical. She was going to die. She was going to die. And she was just ready to go to the hospital. And she was just hysterical over that. So she's always been the hysterical one. And I don't know, Mac and Alan. Of course, Deborah has always been the joker and kidder. And I think I might have already told y'all about this one where we were all sitting around the table after Daddy and I got married, and we were there, and Deborah went out. She said, I'm going to go mow the yard. And a few minutes later, she knocks on the door. She bangs on the door, and Danny goes to the door, and she says, I cut my toes off in the lawnmower. And we're all sitting there going, yeah, Deborah, sure. And Danny looks down, and he goes, yep, she did. And so Mother grabs, I don't even know where the toes went. So I don't even think they tried to put him back on. But anyway, Danny scoops her up, and Mother grabs a towel and wraps her foot, and they go off to the emergency room. Well, that was Deborah. And then, of course, Yvonne. She was and also, I think we influenced each other a lot. And
forgot about Lynn. Claudia, sure.
Yes, Marietta. Yes.
I was going through who is all this?
She's the middle child. She missed her.
She was the middle child. Yeah.
Oh, poor Aunt Lynn.
So, yes, I think as sisters, the 9 of us, just like you said, we were a gang. Yeah.
Is there anything is there anything that you would want to, I don't know, add about this discussion? Anything that, I don't know, do you want to talk about how much you love me?
I do love you.
You're great.
Yeah.
You're the all rightest.
You are that middle child. Oh, God.
I'm also the funniest.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
And Dorcas is in charge. I don't know who she gets that from. She always thought she was.
Wrap it up. Yeah. Next question. Let's keep moving. Come on.
You're not the principal here.
Yeah, that's right.
Me and Mom will just be like, yeah, I'm not wrapping it up. We're going to talk for like 7 hours. I'm going to leave the door open.
I do not want to be required to do nothing. We're not stopping now. Not at all.
Okay.
No countdown. No closing.
In charge of editing. So
that's true.
Talk all day.
That's true.
Okay. Well, Mom, thank you. I know this was it's not
I
always
love this.
Talk about yourself,
yes.
But I think I want to just make sure that we do honor our mother on this podcast.
I feel honored.
Like every couple of weeks, we need to check in with you, or a couple of months, check in with you and ask you some more questions, and I'll get this book to you so you can start filling out yourself, because it is quite in depth and that's a lot of good questions. So thanks for stepping outside of your comfort zone.
And I did.
And answering our questions.
Okay. Well, I love doing it, okay? I want y'all to know me as well as I think I know me. But yeah, you need to know those things about your mother.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of The Mother You Know, The Woman You Don't. Be sure to like us on social media. I mean, TikTok's about to go away, so you don't have to waste your time following us there. But Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. And I'm sure whatever thing is going to replace that. We'll get on board with it eventually. Be sure to give us a rating anywhere you listen to your podcast, or you can listen at themotheryouknow.com. So thanks so much, guys, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.